All right, got this set redone a little bit. It's gonna be for like nerdy content, as in like tabletop gaming, builds of, you know, different Lego sets and whatnot. Who knows what else? We'll think of all kinds of stuff. Just culture videos, and over here we'll, you know, put a bunch of stuff like monitors and all that. Guys, I'm trying to do this whole vlogging thing more often. It's probably a little bright over here. God, these lights. You know, people say they want to see more behind the scenes stuff. And I started thinking, it's just weird for me to hold a camera in front of my face. I'm going to try to do this, but I kind of envy people like Anthony Bourdain, who grew up in an era when what you needed to do was write a book, and then you were discovered, and then you didn't have to be always vlogging. You just got a TV show or something like that. It'd be awesome. I'd love to do like a nerdy TV show where we travel around and explore nerd culture and gaming in all the different parts of the world. That'd be fun. So we don't have that. We're like in a society where you're always expected to be online. But then at the same time, there's so much information out there, you always have to qualify everything you say. So it's got this strange sort of feeling to it where everyone who watches you expects a certain level of elite knowledge. And there's so much knowledge on the internet that it's impossible to know every little piece of esoteria that's out there. So a lot of these things are the things that go through my mind and ruminate and keep me from doing regular vlogs. So it's like, you know what, someone's going to pick you apart. And then you find yourself living in fear of all the comments you're going to get on YouTube, which I don't give a fuck about, really. I mean, all these guys on YouTube who comment and that sort of thing, most of them are positive. And then you get the one who's like, oh, you're on Windows. You know, like there's something like that, or even if you're on Linux, that's the wrong distro, I'm afraid. Terribly sorry, the wrong distro. Or if you talk about some game, it's always like, oh, that game. Well, that's not as elite as this one game here that's a strange roguelike with a twist that makes it so difficult no one can beat it. You know, like there's always that. So it's a battle of who can one up each other. It's almost like the whole hipster thing, but where hipsters are looking at each other's jacket and shoes and thinking who bought their shoes for the most expensive price but pretends it's from Goodwill still. This is like, you know, who knows the most esoteric thing on the internet and then can use that to assert their dominance or their e-dick or whatever on the internet. You feeling my rant back here?
Oh yeah.
Over there. That's what it is. You get your e-dick out. I mean, even girls have an e-dick, right? I mean, when you're on the internet. You better, because if you're a girl that shows up to the internet party, well, you're just going to get made fun of for being a girl, and God forbid you say that you like to play games, because the first question is going to be like, oh, well, if you know everything about games, then here's this strange game that you've probably never heard of, and I want you to name the 3 bosses. And then I'm going to nitpick your answers to qualify you. Everything's about, you know, qualifying everyone. So I've got to you know, apologize. Sorry, this is what my opinion is. And then you guys got to qualify everything. So why don't we all just fucking chill and be ourselves and do whatever the fuck we want? How about that for a change? So this vlog is just me saying, guys, if you're out there and you're feeling that way, or if you have a YouTube channel and you find yourself constantly on defense about the bullshit that you're dealing with in your comments, just live and tell them to go fuck themselves. Like seriously, or just ignore them completely, because their life basically consists of sitting in front of the computer and refreshing it over and over again so that they can find something that they can demean so that they can feel better about themselves.
Sitting in front of a computer with Cheetos crumbs all over your fucking shirt.
And that's what their life is all about. Them gratifying and validating their own existence. When really they're just sitting there in front of a computer screen refreshing it all day. They're not getting out and doing anything. A lot of these guys don't have jobs either, because if you have a job, you usually don't have time to sit around and be an asshole on the internet. That's just my thing.
Unless you're us.
Yeah, unless you're us, and we just sit around and like, like, fuck you guys, we hate you guys. So anyway, this is supposed to be encouraging, but it ended up being a sort of a rant, but it's also kind of a look at why I don't like pointing a camera, and this feels so fucking awkward right now, like why I don't like pointing a camera at myself, and why I don't understand why anybody would ever think that anything that I do off the camera is, you know, interesting at all. Even though, you know, half the time I'm doing a handstand on the back of an elephant while juggling firing, you know, chainsaws, but I'm like, why would anyone think this is interesting? You know, this is not interesting. How do you do a handstand and juggle at the same time? Figure that out, why don't you? All right, I'm gonna go make an inbox video. You guys better watch this stuff.